Ave Satanis. You're watching Sanctuary Satanica. I'm the daughter of Lilith. Hello. Last you saw me in the Qliphothic Visions series, which is a series in which I am just giving my experiences as I'm initiating through the Dark Tree. Y'all saw me in Gamaliel. I have since worked through Samael, Arabzarak, and Thagirian, and I am just now actually preparing. I technically have entered Qliphothic, but I'm now preparing the sigil. So I have a lot to catch all up on. This might be a 2-for-1. I'm not ready to make a video on Thagirian yet, but we'll see how far I get through Samael. It's really hard for me to articulate both Samael and Harab because for very different reasons. Okay. Samael I would describe as like it was awesome. Honestly, fucking awesome. The Peacock King loves me. I love him. We have a great time. That's not to say that fucked up shit did not happen. That's not to say that I wasn't called in some shit. That doesn't mean to say that on the day side I got a little fucked up. I did, but I could handle it all. I mean, I don't know. I don't. It didn't like fuck me up emotionally. That's like why. Well, I don't know. It was fun anyway. So, anyways, what I noticed before I even started entering, because everything was very fluid. Like it was like after Gamaliel, basically up until I got kind of stuck at Thagirian for a second because I was distracted. Everything was like flowing. It was this was the qlipha. Samael was the qlipha that I started to see everything in ritual and everything in the spirit world, whatever, state of mind I'm in to be where I'm at on the night side or whatever. I started to see synchronicities out in the mundane day side world that just were everywhere, before I even started doing any of the work. And then I started having dreams pretty quickly. I had dreams about like the future, about like all kinds of weird shit. It was hard to connect it. I still am seeing if it connects directly to Samael at all. I don't know, but I'm gonna have to actually analyze my dreams. But yeah, I was very intuitive at this time. I was very like, and that could be left over from Gamaliel, that I was just like very in tune with everything. Yeah, in my first invocation, I really was experiencing being within the sigil. Lots and lots of snakes. It's really hard to describe exactly how this all went down because if you ever talked to the Peacock King, you may know he's really trippy to be around. Like I was really into like even more into psychedelic music than I usually am. I'm into like a very niche kind of type of psychedelic music, like the harder shit, the stuff that's more aggressive. But I was getting into this band that I had not heard of, and it was so funny that the colors, the images, what I was seeing. So to explain, at one point I had a vision in which I saw the pyramids and the that were the themes of the sigil, whatever. I was seeing that, but then I was seeing peacock feathers, orange, blue, green, gold, surrounding like the void sun, the black sun, whatever you want to call it, like in this kind of I don't know, mosaic type thing. And it was really funny because that band that I was listening to like had just come out with a new album, and their album art showed up on like my YouTube suggested whatever, and the album art features like a golden pyramid encased in this like window into like the, not the void, but like the universe, the galaxy, whatever. And it's like a circular window, and around that circular window is these like psychedelic waves that look like peacock feathers. Like it was all the colors I was seeing, the oranges, the blues, like not quite all the greens, but it was just interesting to see like that theme, a very trippy theme, like fit a lot of that into. It was just synchronicities like that were everywhere, like out in the world, like just the animals I was seeing, things like that. It was. I wasn't seeing peacocks anywhere, but that'd be interesting if I was. I saw like images of peacocks, but no real ones because I don't live where they are native to. Anyway, at some point, oh yeah, there was lots of eyes, lots of vortexes, lots of things like that. Oh, snakes, poison, blah blah blah. It was around this time that like I became extremely aware of like what substances and things I was using to cope and how I was using them. I had a few incidents with alcohol at work. Those of you who don't know, I'm a stripper and I'm allowed to drink at work. And never have I been like a really big drinker. I'm not really a fan of alcohol, but I noticed I was becoming dependent on alcohol a little bit to get through work, and it wasn't serving me. And I reached a point where things were very, very bad, and I could have been in danger. You know, I was safe, but I could have put myself in danger, and I mean, like, mainly driving. So it was clear at some point, like, that was not going to work. And so stopped drinking at work altogether. Yeah, been pretty good about that. Occasionally I'll have a beer or something, but like no champagne, no vodka, none of that. Okay. Was more aware of people in my life that might be poisonous. It was like right before I finished this qlipha that the crappy, I don't give a fuck if you still subscribe to my channel, the crappy relationship I was in was ending. And like I didn't care. Like I didn't care when it ended. I was like, okay. Like yeah, you know, I knew I was settling this entire time and like this person is not making me happy, and if they want to go, they can go. I really I really am not invested right now because I've done everything I can to like make this a viable relationship, and at this point it's not up to me. So I was just like, yeah, get that. And interestingly enough, that person, a lot of their life was and is centered around various substances. Like, I don't judge people for being a drug dealer or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't judge that. I don't judge people for using things. But yeah, his life was always like this cocktail of substances. He really just didn't. I don't think he was ever really around me sober. Like, you know, not that it was like horrible. It's just, I don't know, it just wasn't working. What was cool was I was really up and dancing in this qlipha. I was having a great time in this qlipha. Like the qliphothic breathing, that shit was hard at first. That was something, those of you who don't know, who haven't seen the others videos in the series, I'm following Alison Mason's praxis in her book Qliphothic Meditations, and for this qlipha in particular, for Samael, she describes qliphothic breathing, and what that is basically when I'm breathing in, I'm imagining that I'm breathing out, and when I'm breathing out, I'm imagining that I'm breathing in. So I'm imagining the opposite inhale, exhale, depending on what I'm doing. This is to create confusion, and that's suited for the qlipha of Samael and in this particular praxis. So that was really hard for me to do at first because I was just like, how do I even, and I got into like the groove of it, and there really is no comfortable groove in such a meditation, because it's supposed to be confusing, it's supposed to be disorienting, and you're kind of gonna have to stop and figure out what you're doing over and over again. But I kind of got into this like rhythm where I just sort of embraced that nothing made sense, you know, and then I'm in a trance, you know, And that was cool. And I was like, I'm definitely going to use that again. That actually was a lot of fun once I kind of got the hang of it. Still always going to be a challenge. And that's kind of what's exciting about it, is that it doesn't ever really stop being a challenge. So anyway, I just wanted to put that in there because my notes. Also, if you wanted to, I'm sorry, I'm jumping around. If you wanted to know what the album art was, I don't know the name of the album because I just saw like the song come out, and I realize now it is a whole album. But the artist is Alunah, Alunah, and the song that I saw was Psychedelic Expressway. That's what I was dancing to with Peacock King. And if you look that up on YouTube, you'll see the album art. I think I shared it on my Instagram story once, but I can probably put it in a YouTube-y post. I forget that I can do those like Facebook type posts I can do on YouTube now, which is cool. Became very aware of how much I was smoking cigarettes. I am very addicted to smoking cigarettes, and the problem is I enjoy cigarettes. So I probably would enjoy them more if I did them less often, because then it would be more satisfying. But I became very aware of like how I use cigarettes to manage my moods when I really shouldn't be, you know. I smoke weed a lot too, but overall weed has benefited me in my health, aside from the times that it encourages me to smoke cigarettes because it enhances the high. Aside from that, weed has really like been good for me. But yeah, I was very aware of that. I was just radiating this energy that people I mean, I could go anywhere looking like a hobo and people were hitting on me when I was in this Qliphothic lake. Yeah, I almost had no peace, okay, but I almost didn't care because I was just like, you know what, like, I'm the shit. I literally was feeling that I was the shit the entire time I was in Samael. Don't know why it was just so awesome, but the Peacock King likes me. We get along. He even said I was like dancing. We were dancing together at the altar, and I had a veil on. And he's like, take that veil off and put on your crown. Because I bought he convinced me to buy this crown. It's really beautiful. I don't wear it sometimes, but he convinced me to buy this fucking crown and a really pretty robe. And I was like, I will put the crown on it. We just jammed. So, fucking awesome time. The catch was at the end of my work there, I was like, what do I do for a closing ritual? What do I do for my personalized ritual? What do I do for this? I was given instructions. It involved like transmuting a certain amount of energy and then consuming it. So I was doing something with like snake skin and like wine, and I can't even fully like explain it, but the purpose of it, he said to me, this Peacock King, he said to me, be open to love. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, because I was like, my last relationship was sucky, and I expected to be sucky because I deep down was like, you know what? I feel like I've lost the love of my life. You know, that from relationships past, not the most recent one, obviously. And I just, everything after that was settling. And I just was like, yeah, you know, whatever, like, I don't believe love is out there for me, so if you want to be open to it, fine. You know, I can have love from friends. I can have love from family and whatever, you know, from Satan and from the demons. I don't really give a shit no more. Like, but he's like, no, be open to romantic love. I was like, okay, you know. And that shit hit me in a Rob Zorak. And I'll come back and explain that later, because that's a whole different fucking... That fucked me up. I had a real good inside my out, and then that fucked me up. I have to go right now I may come back in the same video or make a new video. We'll see what I do. But if I don't come back, thank you for watching. I hope this series is interesting and fun. Thank you all for sticking around. I really do appreciate it. Have a good day. Bye-bye.